Good morning. Today we are going to be doing a whole host of measures on this property. I'm going to be replacing an air brick. This is a double stacked air brick, so we'll be using 2 of these SMART AirBricks. These are often overlooked when doing flood control measures to a property, but it's a major ingress point if you don't get them sorted. Also, you've got to remember that when these are installed, they are passive, so you don't need to put a cover on, you don't need to do anything to them. I'll be chopping out this air brick here and installing 2 of these. You've also got to remember to check with the relevant authority. Always ask your plumber if it's in a vented cupboard, as this one is, where the boiler is in place, that you don't block an air brick or take one out without the relevant permission. Okay, so we've managed to chop out the existing air brick. Before you put these in, always try and dry fix them. Luckily for us, this has a label on it to tell you which way to put these up so that the floats work in a flood situation. So we just need to make sure that they're both going to fit in the hole, which they do. The next thing we'll do is mix some mortar up, which is sand and cement. I also use SBR to make it waterproof and to help it to stick to the actual air brick when we do it. I've just mixed this mortar up. This is using a red sand because when you look at the mortar on this property, it's red. It's actually a little bit darker than normal red sand. It looks like it's been tub mixed. So I put a little bit of red mortar dye in with this mix to try and blend it through as close as I can. Generally on properties there's 2 colours of sand, a yellow sand and a red sand. You can actually see just here, I don't know if Claire can get in on that one. So this is mortar we're using red sand, that is mortar just there using yellow sand, and it really sticks out. So we try and blend through as best we can with the appropriate colour mortar. The mortar I mixed, I use a 4-in-1 mix. That's 4 parts sand to 1 part cement, normal OPC. I also put an additive in. I use SBR. That helps to stick it better to the air bricks, and it's also waterproof when it dries and hardens. Okay, there is an upside and a downside to an air brick. Luckily, they do come with a little label on it that says this side up. It's because of the flotation bits within the air brick to make it a flood-proof air brick. So remember to always put them the right way up. I'm now going to put the mortar in, set the first brick on it, making sure there's enough mortar all the way round before I put the top brick on. Okay, so we've put the air bricks in. I've pointed them up. I will, once that's started to harden up, I'll clean them down a bit just to get any marks off the air brick themselves. These were nice and easy to put in. This had got a clay telescopic liner behind it, so I couldn't push the bricks in too far, which is good. They're also the same size as these bricks. You will find sometimes on older properties, if it's a Victorian, they have a bigger brick, an imperial size brick, 2 7/8 or 73 mil, whereas these are modern bricks at 65 mil. So if you are putting them into an older property, your mortar beds will be higher or thicker, and they won't sort of blend in quite as well as something like this will be. But if you need the air bricks, that's what you've got to do.